WWE is coming off Money in the Bank, where briefcases were won and cashed in. We go to WWE Raw though, and the ratings were not in the bank. In fact, the ratings were on the decline as they lost over 100,000 viewers from the previous week. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Time to look at the WWE Raw ratings for the July 10th edition. And yes, there's a bit of a decline from last week, and I think one of the main reasons for that is a really idiotic decision. Is they basically announced straight after Money in the Bank that Drew McIntyre was indefinitely suspended and would not be appearing on Monday Night Raw. So the people that are seeing this McIntyre and Punk feud, the people that believe that's the best thing going in WWE right now, they would have maybe been sitting after Money in the Bank thinking, I need to watch Raw. I need to see the fallout. I need to see the reaction to McIntyre and Punk. And when you announce that McIntyre is not going to be there, I mean, straight away, that just diminishes the hope and the interest that people have in seeing those two on Raw, because they know it's just not possible. I remember Vince Russo back in the day, he said that one time they wrote Austin off the show after the first segment. They announced that he wouldn't be back, and he didn't come back, and the ratings absolutely tanked. And he said after that, they never made the same mistake again, which makes sense. If Austin's disappearing and the crowd at home know that they're not getting Austin, a lot of them's going to tune out. And I think it's the same philosophy here. I think that people will tune out or not even tune in if they know that there's no chance of McIntyre and Punk feuding with each other, getting physical with each other, interacting with each other, whereas if they didn't mention the Drew McIntyre thing, maybe more people would have tuned in. That's my thinking behind it.
It's absolutely shooting themselves in their left foot, and then they shoot themselves in the right foot by announcing next week McIntyre will be there, but guess what? Punk won't be.
Yeah, it just makes no sense to me. It's like, if The Rock came back at Money in the Bank, but then they told you he wouldn't be at Raw, like, that would just be fucking dumb, because if The Rock came back at Money in the Bank and they just said nothing, people would tune into Raw just with anticipation and hope and belief that they might get to see The Rock. When you basically tell somebody that they ain't going to get to see it, you're just writing off that viewer. So I don't get it. They could have had Pierce suspend McIntyre on Raw. They didn't have to have CM Punk be told on Raw not to show up next week. We could have had Adam Pearce next week when he was speaking to Drew. We could have had Drew looking for Punk next week, and then Adam Pearce can announce that he's told Punk not to show up. There's ways you can do things, but by basically just saying Drew's definitely not going to be on this show and Punk's definitely not going to be on the show next week, it seems like you're setting yourself up for a failure. You want to get every single person possible watching, and by making announcements like that, in my opinion, you're not doing that yet.
You're disvaluing what could potentially happen. You want to tune in and see the hottest thing, and Drew McIntyre, CM Punk's probably the best thing going in wrestling right now. And when you're announcing back to back that one half of the feud ain't going to be on the show, no wonder the rate. Oh, but no need to fear, guys, because Gunther's going to appear next week.
Nobody cares about Gunther. And again, this is just WWE now with their slow process. Everything's slow. Everything gets dragged out for weeks and months and fucking sometimes years. And people just eat it up as if it's great. And, I mean, it's not. It makes no sense to me how you look at the matches, and they've sped the matches up. The matches are like 100 miles per hour. But when it comes to stories and actually telling things, like, everything just takes forever. I'm not saying that you can't have a story, right, last a year or whatever, but not everything should last long. Some things could be over and done with within the space of a couple of weeks, couple of months. But in WWE, their goal seems to be to drag everything out. So, yeah, let's get into it. This week's Raw did 1.75 million viewers. So 1,075,000 viewers, which was down 7% from last week, which was 1.878. So 128,000 viewers down, coming out of Money in the Bank. Is that to be expected? What do you think of that rating? Is that what you would have guessed, or?
Nah, I would probably guessed a bit of an increase, considering the fact that it's the show after your pay-per-view. CM Punk's just returned. You kind of expected Punk to be on Raw. Yes, Drew McIntyre, suspend it.
And they've already cashed in the briefcase, so you've not got that element either.
Yeah, but it's the road to fucking SummerSlam. You know what I mean? Cena came back in Money in the Bank. Alright, probably wasn't going to be there tonight, but there was a relatively decent amount of hype around WWE on Saturday, even though we didn't like the show. A lot things happened to get you to tune into Raw.
They should be... See, when Cena turns up, they should be taping a segment with him. Here, Cena, can we tape something for Raw?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. See if you
hyping up the final run.
Yeah, why not? See if you're like you've got Cena. If you tape something for Cena and you promote that for Raw, that will get you views. People will tune in because of that. Oh, I'm going to get to see Cena on. I don't get it. Why would you fucking not want to see Cena? Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's do this. So, in terms of the key demo, Raw was also down 5%. This week it did 0.59. Last week it did 0.62. So, Raw just down in general. Now, in terms of the most viewed clips, in first place we have Rhea Ripley's shocking return, which shocks both Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan. This got 2.7 million views, which is a lot. So yeah, fair play. That's quite a lot of views right there.
I am fucking shocked that's got 2.7 million. I have no words for that. What? 2 point fucking...
Well, to be fair, like Liv Morgan and Dominic, they have been like bringing in the ratings, so...
Aye, but 2.7 million's like reserved for like a Rock or something. Not these three fucking jobbers.
Well, yeah, it's good numbers.
No, it is.
Very good numbers. In second place, we have the CM Punk and Seth Rollins promo. It got 1.1 million views, the full segment between those two. So, yeah, normally CM Punk tops these things, but I guess Rhea Ripley kind of stole his thunder by returning. I don't think anyone was expecting that return either, though, so...
It's good to have two clips, though, that are over the million.
Yeah, speaking of over the million, the third highest clip almost got it. Dominic Mysterio is caught in a compromising position with Liv Morgan. It just feels like they use that shit all the time. Thoughts on that?
They do, and I just thought this made Dominic look like a beta meal. The whole stretching thing. I think it just would have been better if it was the other way about. Like, you know, Trish Stratus didn't fucking bend Triple H over.
No, but being a wrestling fan in 2024, I feel like I'm constantly getting bent over. But I totally get what you mean. It's like, with Triple H, he had Stephanie bent over and he had her in that position and it just looked more legit. It looked more what you would expect. Whereas with Liv, I mean, she's working the leg of Dominic like he's some sort of little bitch. And people will say, no, that's because it's Dominic's character. I disagree. I think in WWE in 2024, I think they were always going to go in that. Even if it was Liv Morgan and Damian Priest or whatever, I think she's going to be doing that maneuver on him.
No, absolutely.
Rather than Damian having her bent over, you know, ass first. So, yeah, anyway, this did it did decent. Almost got 1 million views, so congrats, 890,000. In third place, we have the Wyatt 6 enable Jey Uso to defeat Chad Gable. I think the Wyatt 6 has completely lost its steam.
I agree. Between this segment and the one where Bo Dallas was just sitting in Pierce's office, I mean, that clip's nowhere near here.
Yeah, fifth place, 434,000 views. Ilya Dragunov saved Sami Zayn from the unhinged Braun Breaker. Fifth place, sixth place, Jesus Christ, 430,000 views. Braun Breaker and Awesome Truth defeat Judgment Day. Seventh place, Uncle Howdy will unleash his family, 422,000 views. And in eighth place, we have 307,000 views, Rey Mysterio and Selena Vega versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Anyway, back to the Wyatt 6. I totally believe that their momentum has been killed off. They came in and they've done this whole WWE Triple H thing where you don't basically do anything for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and every single week it's like repeating the same thing, and you're getting from A to B as slowly as you possibly can. That doesn't help. And then you factor in their beef appears to be with Chad Gable. Like, the Wyatt 6 are why are they feuding with Chad, of all people? It's not a diss on Chad Gable. I just don't think that he and the Wyatt Six are really compatible. They don't strike me as the kind of guy the Wyatt Six should be going after. Plus, this guy already had his own storyline going on, so why have they just distanced him from the Alpha Academy? And they're having the, like, is Chad Gable going to join the Wyatt Six? Why would the Wyatt Six be after Chad Gable? He didn't have anything to do with Bray Wyatt or anything like. He's not like a supernatural sort of character. It just makes absolutely no sense to me why the Wyatt Six are coming. And I say the Wyatt Six ain't doing nothing. Let's get it straight here. You got Bo Dallas cutting promos, and you have the fucking 5-foot person from Scotland, the gremlin looking chick, Nikki Cross. Oh, I'm mental, Nikki. Now, she just comes out dressed in this like white fucking ugly looking dirty gown thing with a box. Where's the other members? What are they doing?
They're at Wendy's taking selfies.
Are they on vacation time? The Wyatt Six, I think it's fucking flopped. It's absolutely flopped. First week they came out, massacred everybody backstage. We thought the Benoit double murder suicide was big. We had like a 20+ person suicide murder backstage, and then the next week they follow it up with Nikki Cross delivering a box to Michael Cole, and they've done that now for 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no.
During Chad Gable's matches. I mean, what's going to happen next? Why do they think this is good television? Repeating the same shite every week? When are you going to advance it? Oh, Triple H is cooking. You just have to wait. Fuck waiting. It's the same shite every week.
It's the same shite every week. Chad Gable trying to recruit the Creed brothers. What? Is Chad Gable and the Creed brothers against the Wyatt Six going to fucking do it for you? Because not doing it for me.
No, anyway guys, that's it for your Raw ratings. Raw down this week. Not very good after coming off Money in the Bank. Next week, Drew McIntyre's going to be on the show. We'll see if that goes up, but CM Punk's not going to be there. So, who knows? Rhea Ripley's return, though. That could improve the ratings next week, if we can base it off the YouTube views. So, yeah, we'll see. But this week, it's down and out for Monday Night Raw.